This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this evening, Rivers State government threatens striking doctors at state-owned hospitals. 7 PDP national officers resigned from their roles. Ijo National Congress tells President Buhari not to sign PIB into law. And on the foreign scene, residents of besieged Afghan city urged to evacuate ahead of army operation against the Taliban. I am Carl Orakwue with the news. The Rivers State government has threatened to invoke the no work, no pay policy against the striking resident doctors in state-owned hospitals. Secretary to the Rivers State government, Dr. Tammy Danagogo, in a statement said the strike should be restricted to resident doctors who are directly under the payroll of the federal government. Dr. Danagogo said resident doctors in the state are not owed. The statement also directed all resident doctors under the employment of the state government to cool off the strike and return to work within 24 hours. Recall that resident doctors at the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital joined the indefinite nationwide strike, which started on Monday because the Rivers State government is yet to pay COVID-19 inducement hazard allowance. And moving on, the National Butchers Union in Nigeria, Rivers State chapter, says the proposed new slaughterhouse in Ngboshimini will not accommodate butchers in the state. State chairman of the union, Musa Baba Ahmed, told correspondent Martha Okere at a former slaughter at Trans-Samadi is on 110 plots of land and has about 3 slaughter slabs for cows, goats, rams and pigs.
We have about 3 major slabs: the ram and the goat, the pork section, then the cow section. Then where the nama would be kept for wholesales, it will not contain. That place is too small. And anywhere you see there is a slaughter, I think there will be a mini market for foodstuffs. I think that 21 plot is only equivalent to the parking space and other little things.
The chairman of the Butchers Union also called on the state government to renovate the old slaughter market instead of demolishing it.
Then within that side they can manage there. The government will say, okay, please, we want to equip this place as a modern abattoir and some other things. I think here is a center where everybody within the state will come and get meat. Let's settle ourselves to look, maybe if that place would not be enough for us, the government should give us another place, or if here they will renovate it. It's a welcome idea.
The Butchers Union chairman appealed to Governor Nyesom Wike to give them more time to move out of the Trans-Samadi slaughter. He said most of them are still living in the market because they lost billions of naira when the market was asked to close last year.
We have good relationship with the government. At least they should call us. We'll set a committee that should come and sit with the butchers. We give them the idea. Almost a year, the government revenue is being nowhere to get it. Then even our personal investment, billions of naira, every day we are going like that. So you see, suddenly we just had an announcement, only we are giving 1 month ultimatum to vacate this place. And any of them that get to know, they will arrest him and prosecute him. So at least they should give us some time.
As all the butchers spoke to our correspondent.
That 21 will bring big problem between the butchers within ourselves.
We are pleading that he should have mercy. Renovate here for us.
These butchers now, since we does not slaughter right from the time of lockdown, all my money then scatter.
What we are pleading to the governor is to give us some time. I'm a goat seller. Each trailer contains almost 400 goats. When I come, I distribute to people. I wait at least 2-3 months before I get on my money. Being we are staying here, we are not making any business base. It's the center that anybody want to pay down his credit must come here. He knows that he will meet us here.
When they sold the cow credit, before gather the money, COVID-19 automatically came. Many of them, they are still in Port Harcourt here, and they don't have any place to sleep. They are asleep inside the market.
Meanwhile, some traders at the Ngboshimini slaughter market are hoping that an alternative space will be provided as the state government builds the new abattoir house in the area. Some of the traders seen selling under the rain spoke to our correspondent.
before he go demolish this one, make him provide where we go feed the manage till him build up the new place for us.
If for good, if at all, we go do the way we talk. At least market going busy for year. As we dey here, so now God just there help us. We're just surviving by the grace of God. So if he had to do what he said he would do, then I think there will be a lot of improvement here in the market.
We appreciate for it because when market come here, so here it will be open well. We not really see market like that. Just the manage ourselves.
We want making create somewhere for us before the market. And waiting we want, so that we no go feed day like that for house now. If we get something doing,
we appreciate it, and the market will come back because everybody would like to come this place to come and buy meat and sell too.
The body of the labourer who drowned in a swamp while escaping police arrest on Monday has been recovered. His body has been deposited at the UPTH mortuary. Meanwhile, his relative Joseph Aitin is calling for justice. In an interview with our correspondent, he accused the police of killing his brother.
After some time, the DPO now sent his boys to go and bring the corpse from where he was lying. So I really need justice, please, so that the thing will not be swept under the carpet like it's normally done when police officers kill an innocent person. The police is not saying anything other than, acknowledging the body and then depositing it in UPTH.
It was gathered that the policemen were from Oswoba police station. A victim of extortion by the disbanded Eagle Crack team in River State is worried that nothing has been done 4 months after the Commissioner of Police in River State promised justice on the matter. Recall that a member of the disbanded Eagle Crack team forgot his mobile phone in the car of the victim after extorting 150 naira. They were later arrested, and it was reported that the officers were being interrogated at the State Criminal Investigation Department of the River State Police Command. The victim, who is a final year student at the University of Port Harcourt, spoke to correspondent Subi Oruwari, and the final year student also expressed surprise that the members of the disbanded Eagle Crack team were released without the conclusion of the investigation. Hopefully we'll bring you a soundbite in our subsequent bulletin. Moving on, 7 national officers of the People's Democratic Party have resigned from their roles. The party chieftains, in different letters addressed to the National Secretary of the party, allege being sidelined and unfairly treated by the national chairman, Uche Secondus. Still ahead on the news this evening, Ijaw National Congress INC tells President Buhari not to sign PIB into law. Details shortly.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. The Joint National Congress, INC, has urged former President Goodluck Jonathan to prevail on President Muhammadu Buhari not to sign into law the Petroleum Industry Bill, which was recently passed by the National Assembly. INC President Professor Benjamin Okuba spoke when he led the national executive members of the body and the Central Zone officials of the Joy Youth Council on a visit to Jonathan in his office in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. A senior advocate of Nigeria, Mike Ozekome, has asked that due process be followed in the case of international fraud in which a Deputy Commissioner for Police, Abba Kyari, has been indicted. In a TV interview, he asked that the extradition law of 2005 be followed, as the US must write to Nigeria through its envoy before the process of extradition can begin.
Everything is going to be in accordance with that treaty. It is not a global law. Extradition is not a global law that simply says everybody can do this. It is what is your understanding with that country. They may be the best super police force in the world. You must now come back to the extradition treaty and the extradition law of Nigeria, Extradition Act of 2004. And the provisions are that they must first, that's the US government, must first make a formal written request through their envoy here. They must state the offense is alleged to have committed. They must put the extract of the law in their own country in America, which also allows extradition.
As the World Breastfeeding Week enters its second day, social media influencer in Port Harcourt, Veronica's daughter, has been speaking on the need for support for breastfeeding mothers. Veronica's daughter, whose real name is Ella Ezeadileje, shared her breastfeeding experience in an interview with correspondent Choma Ezenwafo.
And it's getting easier. We're getting more into a pattern. I express milk so as to also enable the other family members, bond with the baby. My husband feeds, my sister feeds, my children even feed their baby sister, from the bottles, but all breast milk. Modern technology has made it easier than when you have to carry your baby everywhere you go because you're breastfeeding exclusively. Then I have the store of frozen breast milk that she will start using from 6 months.
The social media influencer, a mother of 4, also spoke on common breastfeeding myths that she says should be ignored.
People say, I don't want to breastfeed because my breast will fall. Really? So you're not going to breastfeed a baby, you're going to buy formula because the breast is going to fall. That's not true. Your breast will still fall. Just make sure you have good bra, you have a nursing bra, give your breast good support. Some will say breast pumps are a terrible idea, that some doctors say that breast pumps are not good, which is a fallacy. Breast pumps are lifesavers. For you to use breast pumps, you have to make sure you have good hygiene.
This year's theme for Breastfeeding Week is Protect Breastfeeding, a Shared Responsibility. The week is celebrated to encourage breastfeeding and improve the health of babies around the world. In business news, petrol scarcity seems to be looming in Rivers State following the leadership crisis within the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, in the state. IPMAN had started the strike alongside Nigeria Union Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, over alleged police interference in their internal issues. While one faction has announced the suspension of the strike, another faction insists the strike will continue. Speaking on this, the Rivers State Chairman of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Francis Dingba, expressed concern over the impact of the crisis on petrol users in the state.
We are calling on the system to please do everything to forestall an imminent pain and hardship that is about to be unleashed to our people due to the absence of the distribution of petroleum products. As I speak to you, the filling stations are already drying up, and any moment from now may be shut down because of the absence of petroleum products, as distribution has been seized for some days now. We are requesting that the system should please settle these issues and cause the police to withdraw from the occupation of the offices of these organizations.
In entertainment, Nollywood actress Funke Akindele Bello has backed Big Brother Niger housemate White Money. With the start of nominations for eviction on Sunday, the movie producer took to her Instagram page to pull support for the housemate. In sports news, Inter Milan have rejected Chelsea's £85 million bid for striker Romelu Lukaku. A 28-year-old is at the head of Chelsea's search for a new striker after Borussia Dortmund ruled out selling striker Erling Braut Haaland this summer amidst interest from the Blues.
And now we bring you news from around the world.
Residents of a besieged Afghan city have been urged to evacuate ahead of an army operation against the Taliban. General Sami Sadat, who is leading the battle against the Taliban in the southern province of Helmand, called on the people to leave its capital, Lashkar, as soon as possible. And that does it here on the news this evening. But before we go, here's a quick look at the major stories. Earlier on, we told you the River State government has threatened striking doctors at state-owned hospitals. 7 PDP national officers have resigned from their roles. The Ijaw National Congress has called on President Buhari not to sign the PIB into law. And on the foreign scene, you heard residents of besieged Afghan city have been urged to evacuate ahead of an army operation against the Taliban. The news was edited by Choma Ezenwafo. For breaking news stories and eyewitness reports, to contact our newsroom on 0818 900 0017. Cloudy weather is expected in Port Harcourt this evening. I am Carl Orakwue. Goodbye.